So have it right. Up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in, guys. First and foremost, guys, I want you all to smash the piece, that like button, smash it like you want a Birkin bag, hit that subscribe button. And also I want to announce, thank you very, very much for hitting the monumental 9K. We've actually got there. Let's get on the road to 10K now. So make sure you do smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, ding dong, let's have it right, all that jazz. So you know when we go live. We've got the Minerals FC Ultras membership, which is pinned at the top live chat and down below in the description. And we've got the Minerals FC Extra channel, which I still need to do stuff on. I just haven't had the time. So make sure you do sub on that as well. And we've got Eunice's channel, which is in the title of the stream, which is Nothing Changes. Mid-directors out. Sack them. Get them in the bin. But big up to Eunice for coming on. Respect to you. I heard I had a little something there that Malin Sarr, as he is an enforcement member of the Clown Lake, he's on about 120k. They don't want him off the books. He does go missing, but he took your power down, and you got taken down on the last stream, which was a madness.
Mate, that was that was mad. The last time I was on here, everything switched off. Like the entire building switched off. And it was pre-planned. I didn't know about it. So yeah. But that's not happening again. That's gone. That was a one-off. So yeah, don't worry. I won't be disappearing today. But all is good. Oh, and to surprise, right? All of you, you're gonna love this, right? You're gonna love this, Johnny. Check this, yeah.
Go on.
We've only gone and got it.
Yes, come on. Let's have it right. He's got to love up to Super Grandma, mate.
Come on. Hey, you know what? This is this isn't a sponsored video, but this is the one, man. Flipping hell. I thought my one that I had before was good, and it is, but this hits like the spot. So cheers for the recommendation. Much appreciated.
Listen, I forgot who done it on Twitter because Curse let me know. Yeah, shout out Curse. Someone else has bought it as well. Everyone's buying Lavazza Super Grandma. The sales are going through the roof, guys. Yeah, so make sure you do go.
You need a sponsorship, mate. You got to get in touch with them.
Mate, it's the best coffee, man. I'm telling you. Cream on top.
It's quality.
Lovely
quality, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on, let's have it right. Shout out to all the Minerals FC Ultras in the chat, man. Keep landing your Minerals in the chat. Keep making sure we could get those likes up as well. And also, it's an unusual one. We don't normally stream at 4 p.m., but do you know what? We stream when we feel like it. Let's have it right. Eunice, before I go, did you hear the Talk Sport call in the other day? Did you hear that?
I did. Yeah. Fair play. That was quality. Yeah. And look, Jace, you can tell Jace is fully on it. He just doesn't want to, you know, he doesn't want to be the one to say it. He wants to be the one to go, listen, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, you nailed it pretty much. You kept it short, concise, hit every point, landed. So fair play, quality.
Let's have it right. So I want to bring up the first thing I saw before we get into like the game and everything that's happening. Yeah. Because obviously we say it as it is, but I have to call out Rahman Osman, mate, yeah? Because yesterday he tweeted that Jackson has all the potential to be like Thierry Henry. Right? Bruv, what are we doing here? I mean, listen, Thierry Henry, message to Thierry Henry, one of the greatest players to play the Premier League, right?
Come on.
That is an absolute insult to that player. All right.
Yeah.
There's no way Thierry Henry would accept that. Jackson, like Thierry Henry, you're having me on, bruv. Yeah. You got this fraudulent counterfeit Jackson, bruv, who, whether he plays on a wing or not, man, this guy took Enzo's shirt, kissing it like he's kissing slosh pot wet. Let's have it right. Yeah. We can't be having that. It's Rahman Osman, brown envelope tap. Oh, there's no brown envelopes here, he says. Well, what are you? You on crack? What are you on, bruv? Yeah?
He's got to be, mate.
What are we doing here?
Listen, yeah, he's, you know, Rahman Osman on a personal level seems like a genuinely nice guy, right?
Nice guy, but mate.
When I saw that, I mean, listen, just to put into perspective, there's a genuine debate as to whether Drogba is even better than Thierry Henry, right? There's a genuine debate between those two. Like, you could argue for both. And that's Drogba. We're going to talk about Jackson hitting the levels of Thierry Henry. Come on, man. Come on.
Bruv, honestly, yeah, let me get it. I need to get it, bruv.
We can say this respectfully, not yet, and there's a bloody long road to go.
he says, if Jackson gets to his true level, he'll be able to perform like Thierry Henry did. He's got it all: movement, bravery, willingness, and has goals in him. What move? The guy doesn't get motivated to play for Chelsea. Listen. His motivation slosh pot wet. That's number one. Number two, this guy's just a joker, bruv. I mean, this guy doesn't even come close to Didier Drogba, and people call him Baby Drogba, you frauds, yeah? All right? Look, there's the proof. There's the proof. I mean, it's just disgraceful. It's disgraceful.
There's got to be perspective. Jackson's played one game at left wing. One. And done a good job, and now he's compared to Thierry Henry. Like, no, come on, man.
This is outright blasphemy in the footballing world. You know, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing it. That's like calling McGinn and something like what's his name? Who's the Brazilian in midfield? Oh fuck! Back in the day, man. He managed Brazil. What's his name, man? With a D. Oh, I can't remember his name. Dunga.
I was going to say,
it's like saying he's Dunga, bruv, or something like that. You know, Dunga, key player for Brazil, and someone else compared. Who was it, man? Someone else compared one of our players to fucking R9, and I was like, what are we doing here? Like, is this fan base tapped or something? I mean, what is it? They're gone, mate. These lot are gone. But yeah, I wanted to introduce on that because that's a prime example of so-called journalists that are just there for that's just pure clickbait. But it's also like it's misleading. It's a narrative. It's a joke, man. You can't be putting that out. You can't be
saying that, man.
Like you just can't, man.
There's moments where myself included, you know, get carried away and you start thinking those comparisons and you start thinking, is this player going to hit that level? Does he have that capability? Does he have that potential? That you got to just call a spade. And if you're going to be real, you got to just let time play out.
The geezer can't even dribble like him. He ain't got technical ability like him. He ain't got finishing like him. I mean, what's he got to even think of Thierry Henry, bruv? I mean, that's madness. And Gallagher FC, let's have it right. I compared Havertz to Bergkamp, but why don't you ask Thomas Tuchel? He made the comparison, not only him to Van Persie and Berbatov, and the Berbatov himself compared and likened himself to Havertz. So I ain't far off, mate. Let's have it right. But when you're bringing up Jackson, who's hardly appeared in the Premier League, he's just started his career like a baby, he's come out of the womb, literally, this guy, all right?
Yeah.
And you're comparing it with Thierry Henry, it's like, you're onto something, not at all, mate, You're on something strong, and you need to lay off it, you know?
And you know what? I think in the long run, and again, I think I've picked up this from experience, man. It's not healthy to make those sort of comparisons. Just let the player get on with it. He'll be his own. Look, no one at the time was saying Drogba was the new, I don't know, someone, you know, or were we calling him Jimmy Floyd? Or were we calling no, we weren't. No one was comparing anybody. Just at this point, I think the best thing to do is just let the players get on with it, and then they will hit the level they hit, and then we can analyze it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Neil's bang on there. He the only dribbling he does is when he's around Sloshpot, bro. Yeah, that's the only dribbles he's doing. And listen, the completion rate, I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, mate. If it's one way, it's a bad thing. If it's the other way, it's a bad thing. It's a lose-lose situation for him and for Astrid. So listen, I want to say with these sort of things, I guarantee if we put in a stinker against Palace on Monday, for example, all of a sudden, Jackson's the worst thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
It's like, just, I think the comparisons overall just need to calm down. Unless you can genuinely tell from minute one, this player is special. Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa. I mean, look, Haaland right now, you can't deny. It's undeniable. Haaland will be one of the greats of all time when it comes to the striker position, I think, at this rate that he's going. It's ridiculous. That's a sort of time where you can start making comparisons. You can start really having the conversation, right, is Haaland one of the all-time greats? Where does he rank? And you start bringing all the GOATs of the Premier League and what goals they've scored and where's Hart. That time you can start genuinely doing that. You got to let the players prove themselves first. They haven't proven themselves. Jackson definitely hasn't. Long road to go.
100%. In these comparisons need to stay well clear, bro. All right.
Yeah.
But when I've compared players, a lot of people in the game have actually made these comparisons. Like when I brought up Mason Mount, Roy Keane publicly came out on Sky Sports, said he's likened to Paul Scholes. All right. Scholes likens him to Lampard. In fact, he's the closest player we've had to Lampard in terms of GA return. In fact, he broke the first 3 seasons he played for Chelsea, or the only 3 seasons, to have it right. He broke Lampard's. I think Lampard got. I can't remember what his GA was. I think it was like 48 or 49.
Yeah.
And Mount had, I think, 61 GA, which is unbelievable.
No, and it's true. But even then, I would even take it one further and go. Look at the consistency Lampard managed to have over year after year after year after year after, for how long? Up until when he became the club's highest goal scorer as a midfielder. Like, it's ridiculous. And club and country, by the way. Like, the levels are just mad. But even then, it's a case of it's still not done. Like, let it. I mean, look, with Mason, for example, what's he going to do at United? God knows. What did that say? You took it off. Jackson, what? I saw Jackson and Astrid, and I know it's going to be something peak.
It was peak, bro.
I'm going to scroll up here. What's been said?
Oh, Mickey Joyboy, man. I'm sure it's Mickey Joyboy, bro. Yeah, it was. Jackson thought Astrid's. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Woo! We're getting it started. Come on, the ultras are landing in the chat, bro. They're landing in the chat. Right. So, listen, that's throwing me off. You lot, sometimes it's dangerous for me to even acknowledge the chat at this rate, bro. Yeah, right.
I feel like I'm on the late night show. This is great. We'll keep it rated R.
This is afternoon minerals, bruv. Served up on a silver platter.
Put the kids away.
Golden platter. Sorry, golden. But yeah, these are the consistency's key, which is exactly what brings us on to our team is inconsistent as you like, because the average age is between 20, 23 years old. Paul Merson brought it up. Very, very young side, so you're guaranteed inconsistency. Well, we know that, all right? Pochettino knows that. That's why he asked for experience in the transfer window when he came. They didn't give him any. They're still not going to give him any. We've got a lot of financial issues already after their second year, almost a second year of owning the club, which means you're restricted in the market again, even more than you were restricted before when you were splashing the cash for just kindergarten FC. Now you can't even go and buy experienced players. There's touts of or rumours about Frankie de Jong. He ain't coming to Chelsea.
No, that's a BS rumour. It's a BS rumour. It's a BS rumour.
Bull. Yeah, all right. But this
to be fair, that all came from Barca's side.
Right, they're desperate to sell him though. They got
money problems now. Yeah.
So that's the caliber of player I want in the midfield that will complement our midfield. He's a proper sitter, and he can dictate the tempo and control the game. That's a real baller. Yeah, but that ain't happening. So what you're buying. I heard we're looking at another another 17-year-old Brazilian, and they called him the new Endrick. Well, Endrick hasn't even
mate.
Endrick hasn't even hit puberty, bruv. Like he's not even made an appearance.
How can you have the new Endrick when Endrick hasn't started? And what are we doing? So, people were saying, some, not all,
premature minerals.
We're going. No, this player is Endrick's replacement at Palmeiras. So, so what's going to happen in a year from now? Then are we going to get linked to the replacement of Endrick?
Yeah.
Are we getting the new Endrick? Yeah. Come on, man. This is getting stupid. This is getting.
That's like this is the example I give. This is like the counterfeit Michael Jackson. Deep in slosh pot and saying, I'm going to make the next Lionel Messi, and he's got amazing potential, and we should make sure he gets signed up by Ted Lasso, BOEHLY and Siri Merchant. That's how ridiculous it is that you're like going, it's like you're some sort of you're predicting the future, like this guy is going to be this. You don't even know if Endrick's going to be what he's meant to be.
Yeah,
I mean,
who knows?
How can you say he's a new Endrick? Like, it's because you got mudded that you said you didn't want to inflate the market, paying 60 million euros. All right, when you've inflated the market for the youth market, like all these young kids were overpaying anyway. But Real Madrid went and paid the money, which tells you Real Madrid want the best creme de la creme, the super glamour. Let's have it right, because ain't a long way from the super glamour, mate. Yeah, they're drinking at 24/7. Let's have it right, Eunice. They're drinking it. They got container loads at Bernabeu. Yeah, container loads. And dishing it out, bro. We get Nescafe granulated coffee when we go. They get super clever, man. Just standard. Yeah. Just standard. But yeah, it's ridiculous. And this is what I'm telling you about the structure and the decisions that are made by these clowns upstairs and the directors that need to go. They're the problem. All right.
Yeah.
So have it right. They are the problem. Kareem Winstanley, Stuart Little, they need to go. They're not qualified for Chelsea Football Club. All right. I don't care what you tell me. Yeah. Did you know that Kareem Winstanley, Eunice, was just an analyst, a data analyst at Derby? Yeah. Yeah. So how's he landed a director job at Chelsea?
Even at Brighton, he was standard recruitment.
Right. It's like people are just blagging their way into the job, and on that, all right. We're worried about money, finances, right? FFP, all this jazz, yeah, right. Someone please explain to me how Ted Lasso BOEHLY is the highest paid employee. Someone explain to me how he is the most highest paid employee at the football club, and he's a 10% owner. So
hang on, how does that work? Yeah, he's a 10% owner, and he's not allowed to take any dividends.
He's a sporting director, Eunice, on a salary.
Well, no, he's the chairman,
right? So he's getting the highest salary in the club. Yeah.
So who's paying that salary? Himself.
Well, it's clown late. It's just way of just filter money through.
That's ridiculous. Honestly, realistically, that shouldn't be allowed. When you're thinking about the owners are technically not allowed to take anything out of the club. Technically, he is.
And by the way, I'm changing it from Todd Lasso BOEHLY, bruv. It's Todd MEATLOAF BOEHLY now. Yeah, everyone knows MEATLOAF. And I would do anything for pound notes. And I will sell any kid for profit. Yeah, let's have it right, bruv. Yeah, MEATLOAF BOEHLY. Let's have it right. That's what he is now.
What's he on? Do you know? Does it say?
No, I haven't looked into it, but he's the highest earner at the club. He's literally the highest earner.
I'm going to try and find that.
He's the high. Go and find out, Eunice. Come try and find out. Big up to CFC 15 Raz, who made a wonderful illustration here. It's called Parasite. New movie. Basically, it's Hollywood promoted by Golden Globes. Can you see that, Eunice? It's starring MEATLOAF BOEHLY.
Brilliant. And are we gonna? Are the club gonna promote that?
Well, yeah, we're going to take down our goal because
Yep.
we're sick
Start
of.
Parasite.
We want parasites now. We're going to have
Parasite will be on the
parasites.
bench.
Meatloaf BOEHLY, everyone. Make sure you land the damn minerals on social media. It's Meatloaf BOEHLY. Yeah. Meatloaf BOEHLY. Yeah. He's the highest earner at the club. What a rat.
Mate, I've just seen. So it says Todd BOEHLY is being paid an extraordinary amount of money to run Chelsea on behalf of Clearlake Capital, reporters revealed. BOEHLY is an estimated personal wealth of 4.75 billion and has been the frontman of Chelsea since the takeover. The London club is owned by the Blueco Consortium, which is led by BOEHLY and Clearlake Capital, who are paying him his mega money salary, which Football Insider, this is coming from Football Insider, right? So I'm only the messenger. Claim is around 20 million a year.
Yeah, really.
BOEHLY is the chairman of Chelsea and heads the board, consisting of 9 directors, including Clearlake, co-founder Bedadik Barley, businessman Mark Waters, and Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss. So yeah, the consortium have a 50% stake in the club, with sources believing BOEHLY's personal stake is 10%.
They're washing money. They're washing money, mate. Yeah.
That's
He's
mad.
leading it for Clown Lake, yet he doesn't make the final decisions. Siri,
Well, yeah.
Listen, let's have it right. Let's clear it up. Yeah. Like I said, every single one of them makes a decision. Every single one of them. They're all together in this.
100%.
This whole PR of BOEHLY's taking a step down. Siri Merchant's in charge now. It's all waffle. You got Mark Waters in there. Wise is in there. You got Todd Lasso, Meatloaf BOEHLY. You got Jose Fagaziano. They're all playing from the same. They're playing the same tune from the same script, mate. Yeah, everyone's reading from the same script, so it is what it is, man. Like, you know. But that's a criminal offence, and it's an insult because you're getting paid astronomical wages for completely destroying our football club, basically.
Big time.
You're crap at your job, yet you're still getting paid the big money. You've hired unqualified so-called professionals in the game, in these directors that are mid as you like, to just be a yes man to you, because you can't have anyone that's actually going to advise you correctly. I mean, if anyone can advise how to destroy a football club in 18 months, you got Carrington Winstanley, you got Stuart Little there, and you got Todd Lasso BOEHLY and Clown Lake. There's your recipe, you know.
It for me, it doesn't add how you can. They're technically not allowed to, you know, take anything out of the club. You could say technically they're not, but the payroll is the club's, which just doesn't sit right with me because he's got a personal stake in the club, yet he's getting paid.
Right.
The whole thing was that they weren't meant to take any. Technically, I guess by the letter of the law, or if you're taking, you know, the word for it, exactly its definition, technically they're not taking any dividends out yet. But he's still on 20 million a year as an owner. It's weird.
They put themselves as a position working for the club that they own. So therefore, it's another loophole. These guys are loophole merchants. So in essence, what's Siri Merchant on? What's all these other guys on? Because they're actually taking money out of the club.
Well, because technically, Egbali and the others don't actually have a position. They're just they're owners and they're on the board. But BOEHLY is the chairman of the club. He's actually got a role. Right?
But so Siri Merchant.
Has he got a role? Or is he just an owner?
Director.
I thought that was Winstanley and Stewart.
Publicly.
I thought Winstanley and Stewart were the sporting directors now.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not. No.
What I'm saying is, like, obviously, like, who's making the shots and whatnot? Cool. Who's calling the shots? But I mean, like, on paper, when you look at the actual position, who's in the role? Like, BOEHLY actually has a role. He is the chairman on paper, right? Does Egbali have a role on paper, or is he just one of the owners? I think he's just one of the owners. But
does it not say there on that thing, Eunice, that you just researched? Does it not show like Egbali or anyone?
No, you know what? We can actually check. It's on the Chelsea website. Surely you'd be able to have all the roles.
Has any guys in the chat, have you heard this anywhere else? Or is this the first time you're hearing this? Let me know in the chat. Because I only found this out yesterday.
Oh, okay. No, it doesn't.
That's what I'm saying, man. People don't know what's going on. Yeah? People don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's bonkers. It's bonkers.
Did you know that, Eunice? Did you know this?
No.
You didn't know?
Not what, the 20 million?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
BOEHLY gets paid 20 million a year as an employee to the club that he part owns. Make it make sense.
Yeah? Here we go. Here we go. So yeah, it's on their website, the Chelsea Football Club board. Chairman Todd BOEHLY. There's directors, basically all of them, but that's the consortium, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got the CEO. That's another position. Director of Football Operations, David Bernard. Attenborough's life president. It's got vice presidents. And then there's the ownership.
You got what's his name? Jurisic. He's a CEO, a COO.
He's a CEO. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's part of Clear Lake, so he's getting a salary. He's part of he works for Clown Lake, right? Jurisic, right?
Yeah.
They've hired him as their CEO for Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Which means they could pay him whatever they want to pay him, but he probably has an agreement with them. You're only getting this much, and we're taking the rest. So potentially, what salary is he on?
See, this is the thing. He's a senior lead. He's a senior leader with Clear Lake Capital. You see, so he's a CEO. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if some of this money's being filtered to Egbali and Feliciano as well. If they're all like just on the payroll, it shows Todd BOEHLY, this Jurasek and all that. But if they're all taking bits of the pie, I can't say for sure, but suspicion only, I guess, opinion. I wouldn't be shocked.
It's bad, isn't it? This is bad.
Because they're technically not allowed to take any dividends out of the club, not allowed to take any anything out of the club for the first 10 years. But if they're taking portions out of the payroll indirectly, it's better than nothing, isn't it? Technically, they're saving a bit of money.
Yeah, they're just getting like some crumbs out there, you know?
Yeah.
That 20 million is just like some chump change. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because these guys are billionaires. How they're billionaires, I don't know. They must have screwed over so many people to get there. I don't know how they're billionaires.
It's things like this. Things like this is how you become a billionaire.
Yeah. They're crooks. Listen, Mark Goldfish, yeah, he can get in the bin, all right? The little brown envelope, yeah?
Mate.
All right? With his United stand and all this is football and all this jazz, yeah? Platforms that are bought, yeah? Club narratives, yeah? Why don't you focus on your own club? Don't speak on us supporters having it back this ownership. You absolute melt. What about the Glazers, mate? Why are you not protesting against the Glazers? In fact, when Terry Fleurs, shout out Terry, asked all the platforms to get involved to create a campaign against the Glazers, old Goldfish didn't want to do it. No, in fact, he doesn't want to collaborate with anyone because he doesn't want to make their channels bigger. So have it right, yeah? The ex-copper, yeah? He ain't no top-notch bacon, bruv. Yeah, and he's a Nottingham Forest fan. So we're mudding him right now. Hello, mate.
I was surprised to hear what he said because everything got to such a level. And I watched this video and he was talking about, Potter's got to be backed and you got to give time. And I'm like, if there's one person that should understand about the concept of just giving time for the sake of giving time, it should be him. How many times has he said that? The managers have got chopped and things have gotten better.
Yeah.
It's just been, you know, and he's been contemplating the whole Ten Hag thing himself.
Yeah, and they set up Rashford as well. Don't you remember? They set up Rashford, trying to paint him in a bad light, and he had to come out publicly in that.
Yep.
Yeah, these guys are snakes and ladders, mate. Yeah, they're pawns in the game. They're spineless, bruv. Yeah, every single one of them. All right. And people come out, a lot of them, they say they wish they could say what they can say. They can't say it because they get sacked. Just like a Pat Nevin, as an example. Yeah. This is what they do. They play with your livelihood. They got you by the short and curlies. And when you get out of line and you don't follow the orders, or you say something out of line like Bell Silva did, and they dropped Thiago Silva, all right, same narrative, same situation. Well, it happens in every club across all platforms. And Eunice, I did bring up that there is a platform that all the football clubs, in the Premier League specifically, they pay an agency, whatever it is, a fee. And this agency is there to assess every fan, every social media account, every YouTube platform, any platform where a support has a voice, and they make a file, bruv. They make a case and a file. So when it gets to a certain point, they will push the button to cancel you, right? And they did it to a Newcastle fan. All right, I'll send you the link. And she brought up about I can't remember whether it was LGBT or something she brought up, and the club took her season ticket away for 3 years, barred her, right? And she goes, they knew where I live from a picture I took. They went into that. It was CIA, man. This is the Matrix, the brown envelope Matrix, as deep as that. They were doing that, mate, yeah? They can't cancel me, bruv. Yeah, I'll tell you why they can't cancel me. Because, shut me down, bruv. But it doesn't stop me. It doesn't affect me. Honestly, I've got no ties with what I do. There's nothing you can do to me, bruv. Yeah, nothing at all. Be very, very careful. Be on your best behaviour. Yeah, what you do and what you say. And the same goes for Eunice. He's independent, bruv. You know what I mean? They want to shut Eunice down. Eunice will just start up again like that, man. All his fellows will just go like that. It doesn't, it's a bit of a inconvenience, let's have it right. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, all right, that's why I'm the way I am, man. Listen, if it meant, right, if I could do something that would actually change the whole situation at Chelsea, and it meant I lost everything I've set up, I'd do it in a heartbeat like that. Bang. I'd do it. I don't give a shit. I'd do it. I'd actually do it. So, that's the problem. There's not enough people that can do that.
No. Or at least even contemplate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people in the back of their heads will just go, no.
Yeah, no chance. I can't.
No
I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Chance.
It's a bit like this, bruv. It's a bit like Kanye, bruv. Let's have it right. Kanye West, let's do a bit of free promotion for the Ye. Yeah. He's brought out his new album today. Let's have it right. Go and have a listen. You know what I'm saying? My favourite track on the album's got to be Kings. Let's have it right. He brings out Roxanne, you don't need to go at the red light, and all that. He's taking a piss out of Netanyahu or whatever his name is. It's brilliant. It's epic, bruv. But we see things they'll never see. Yeah. Let's have it right. And shout out to our Chelsea old boys as well. Respect to our GOAT and Chelsea Ultra, Mills FC Ultra. But so there's some breaking stuff on here, guys, for everyone to drink them and digest their minerals in. And it absolutely rattles me, winds me up that we've got Todd Lasser-Bowley, Meatloaf himself, reincarnated, taking 20 million a year. It's absolutely disgraceful, bro. Absolutely disgraceful. Yeah, it shouldn't be. That shouldn't be allowed. So let's do some more research on that, Eunice, because I think we should go deeper into that. I just wanted to touch on the blue card thing, which you said is not. It's not gonna. They're not gonna go ahead with it. But listen, I personally think if you're gonna have the blue card, you should only bring the blue card up for the London derbies, so that they can say to all the Arsenals, the Spursies, the Crystal Palaces, the Brentfords, the West Hams, the Hammers, and all these guys, you're getting blue carded because, you can sit this one out. You're not elite. You ain't ever won what Chelsea's won. London's blue, basically. Yeah, that's the blue card, what it represents. London is blue. We are the pride of London. We're the biggest club in London. We're the most elite club in London. Let's have it right. Drink in the minerals, up the Chelsea. Let's go. Yeah, that's all I've got to say on the blue card.
No, I'm not disagreeing with one bit you just said. I wish that would be the case. It would be funny if red cards were replaced with blue cards just for the London derbies and just when they're playing against Chelsea. That would be hilarious. But blue cards, blue cards apparently not happening, or if they do, it's just going to happen at a very, very low level, just as a trial. But again, it shouldn't even be trialed because the whole problem is, and everyone knows this. I don't understand why. Again, these I don't know, these lawmakers or whoever's in suits or whoever's making these calls. Fair play to be honest on this. Fair play to Pochettino. Fair play to Jurgen Klopp. Fair play to Ange Postecoglou as well. They all said basically the same thing. Ange landed it more on a proper passionate side towards this sport of football. Klopp was just like, this is nonsense. Poch is just like, I think this is just not the way to go down. And it just doesn't add up whatsoever. The referees are the problem. The personnel are the problem. We all know this. It's not the system. It's not the rules or what we have in the game that's the problem. It's the personnel that are meant to dictate the rules that are the problem. They're the ones messing this up. Change that, we won't have this problem. So
this is true. And listen, the game doesn't need to be altered. The beautiful game works, is a proven blueprint, blue like Chelsea. It works. You don't need to VAR and all this. It's just corruption that's infiltrating the beautiful game and ruining our football. You're ruining the game itself. We need to nip that in the bud and just get it in the bin. Yeah. That's a great point by Hannah. He says BOEHLY's is innocent and being undermined as a chairman is worse outcome. It's actually bad that he's a chairman, yet he's getting undermined as a chairman, bruv. Being employed as a chairman.
Yeah, it's crazy. That tells you everything you need to know. Yeah.
Step down, son. You're the chairman, but let's have it right. Step down. I'm Siri Merchant, and I'm going to take control with Jose Fugaziano. Oh, man, this is a madness.
He's just the face of the consortium, man. That's all he is. He's just the face that they've stuck in front, to like we know, just the one that's put in front to represent the entire consortium. But he's not the one calling the shots. He hasn't got the majority. The one with the majority has the power. It's as simple as that. That's why I said weeks ago, if push comes to shove, right, say if something actually happened in that boardroom, there was a big disagreement. Like Barley can just be like, listen, mate, shut up.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to, he could, because he has that power. He has the biggest share.
But there is
clearly they have the biggest share. So
there is disagreements going on.
So we've heard.
But there's heated discussions because there's a lot of money at stake. And I said this a year ago. I said, what's going to happen when the suits and boots upstairs are going, why are we not getting European football money? Why are we not able to build commercially? Why are we being held back another 2 years in the transfer market to implement this money-making regime? Now they're in a bit of a pickle. You know what I'm saying? Financial fair play, they didn't predict it. They thought the amortization was going to do the trick, but now they're stuck with players that they're going to struggle to sell now. Yeah. You can't afford to just loan them. So they've shot themselves in both feet, both clown feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's ricocheted off. And let's have it right. Chelsea are falling down with them as the sinking Titanic right now. So
you see, this is the initial fear of having a consortium. Like from the get-go. Do you remember when all this kicked off with Roman? And then we knew that there was going to be new owners and who was it going to be? And that initial fear from the get-go that I was against was, I don't want a consortium.
No.
Yeah, I don't want a consortium. It got to the point where the only ones on the table were consortiums. And then we're like, well, flipping hell, what are we going to do? Take the best of the bunch then? And that's what it felt like at the time. But But consortiums as a whole, you're going to get disagreements. You're going to get too many cooks in the kitchen. That's exactly what we're seeing. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. And that's why I've always wanted just one owner done, which is why I wasn't against having Jim Ratcliffe come in when that conversation was being held. I wasn't against having Saudi come in when that conversation was being held, because you knew it was all stemming just from one person. And I much rather just have one person running the club than have a consortium. But now we've got it, and this is the mess. So.
It's down to intentions, Eunice.
Well, exactly.
Listen, the intentions always be successful, make money, right? I mean, it's a business. Football's business, right? Yeah. But most of the owners have intention to be successful and do actually like the game. Like Ratcliffe's got season tickets at United. He's got season tickets at Chelsea. He clearly loves football. He obviously hosts guests. Who else? Sorry,
he owns Nice.
Yeah, he owns Nice. So he's in football. But you know, the bottom line is you need to get a balance, and you need to get the right balance. And they haven't got the right balance. Their balance, there ain't no balance. It's like the scale just weighs all the way down, because it's like, how much gold are we going to get? You know, we don't care about silverware. We just want the gold. But in order to get all the gold, you need the silverware to balance it out. Yeah. So they're not doing a very good job. They're a disgrace. All right. And this win against Aston Villa, like I say to everyone, doesn't change nothing that is happening at Chelsea. In fact, it makes people fall into the false hope again. Because why? Because Chelsea supporters, and I'm guilty of this, all we want is players to die for the badge and play and play with their heart and soul. Right?
Yep.
And for the first time in that Villa game, we actually felt like we got that. You know?
Yep.
And that is something that should be a bare minimum requirement. That comes, and the success comes with something called pressure. And pressure, what we've been used to under Roman Abramovich, stemmed from him, the Don himself. That's the pressure. And it filters all the way down as the mentality and the mindset and the demands when you step foot Chelsea Football Club. And Cesc Fabregas came out and says, you know, Chelsea, there are a lot of young players. We have to understand that. But Chelsea's about winning. Their mentality's been like that for the last 20, 25 years. That doesn't just change overnight. Sadly, Clown Lake have come in and have changed that mindset, lowered the standards. So all the supporters are now trust the process like an Arsenal Spurs, not successful, happy to get top four. That's like a trophy nowadays, or win an odd Carabao Cup and FA Cup. And we've turned into some small mentality midget, you know?
Yeah.
We're not a monster no more. Yeah. And it's like, well, the only way to change that is simple. You bring the elite gaffer, you bring a general like Jose Mourinho, for example, or a Tuchel, that ilk, Diego Simeone. You sack these two directors, yes men, who are mid and meaty, and they're just given orders, but they're also actually given too much power without the experience and qualification to run an elite football club. And their track record tells you that. And their track record at Chelsea is an absolute disgrace. And then above them, you've got co-owners playing CEO and chairman and all this jazz, getting paid by the club, milking the club, making the final decisions without any football experience or knowledge or understanding. And Souness came out and said it's like Fergie going to baseball and running a baseball team. What's he know about baseball? It's just suicidal, bruv. It's ridiculous. Yeah. It's actually clown act. You know, it's a clown act. So what I'm saying is this result just masks the reality of what's happening at Chelsea Football Club, and it's further going to continue. All right, but just know that we will not get these performances consistently. You're not going to get that. All right, you're just not going to get it. And Pochettino talks about all this family unity and all this jazz, right? And he's got loads of lemons in the dressing room, and lemon trees are growing. He thinks he's in The Godfather or something, bruv. This guy, yeah, he's a long way from Lavazza Super Grandma, Starbucks, all that jazz. Pochettino had the outright disrespect and fucking arrogance to say that Chelsea are not the Chelsea of 20 years ago, and we have to accept it. Yeah, jog on, mate. Spursy, all right, that mentality. You bring this level and intensity and mentality. You're meant to, as the gaffer, to these players. But these players are on long contracts. So it's like, well, if you go, we'll just get another gaffer in and we'll see if we want to turn up or not. But either way, we're getting paid and we're living it up, bruv. We're auditioning for Bang Bros at Tape London every Tuesday night or whatever it is. So I look at that and I think to myself, pressure is meant to come from the ownership. It's not. Poch has got no pressure from the ownership because they're his little yes man, right? He's the yes man for them, all right?
Yeah.
He's a jellyfish. But the only place, the home of pressure, which is what brought out that performance against Villa, was the supporters and the supporters only. Because the supporters were turning big time.
Yep.
And Poch
and he admitted that. Yeah. He admitted that. And put out the importance of why Chelsea had to push on that day, because there was a certain pressure. And that got fun. Because look, there's one thing to clarify here, is that I genuinely don't believe the players Poch has lost the dressing room in that extent, because the players wouldn't have played the way they did if he had lost the dressing room as a whole. No chance. But that pressure that he referred to did come from the supporters. The chants, the singing. I mean, to be honest, look, that night at Villa and the fans, the 6,500 Chelsea fans that went, mate, that was being talked about by non-Chelsea fans, by all sorts. I saw posts being put up from people you just don't expect to talk about Chelsea, going, whoa, those Chelsea fans tonight are unbelievable. And it was mental, right? And that played its part for sure. So the fact that Poch acknowledged that, clarified that pressure actually got Chelsea moving the way they did, counteracts his comment about we can't be the Chelsea of 20 years ago, or the Chelsea of the last 20 years. You want to know what's mental? We're not stupid, right? We all recognize that Chelsea right now, the level of players we have, of course, we're not the Chelsea that we have been for the last 20 years. We don't have that level of players, right? Understandably. But we can't just sit and go, oh, we're just going to accept what we're seeing. We're in 11th and we're just going to wait. When the performance we saw against Villa and the way we actually moved against Villa, for me, was reminiscent of how Chelsea used to move on a weekly for the last 20 years, right? So we can move like how Chelsea used to run for the last 20 years. That's all we want to see. That performance against Villa is something that we can all collectively go, I said it myself. I was like, for the first time in 18 months, I felt like I've watched Chelsea. Like I've actually watched Chelsea FC, and it feels like I've watched Chelsea, and I'm happy, right? Can we just get that every week? Now, obviously, we're not going to win every week, but if we get that level of performance week in, week out, and there's obviously going to be the odd loss here and there, that's normal. I'm not saying go on a flipping unbeaten run. That's not going to happen. But that's what we want. You give us that, mate, we're happy. But we're not going to drop the levels and go, now we're just going to sit back and just accept being in 11th and accept the performances we've seen and the results that we've got. And no, when we do have what it takes to put in the performance we put in against Villa and play the way we did and win the game we did and manage the game we did, because fair play to Poch on the day as well. He was basically, everything was perfect. So if we can do that, that's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking for.
He got it tactically spot on. He outdone good evening. And literally said goodnight, Charlie. Nullified him. But the key is the supporters. I've been Villa part, mate, and last time we won. Now we've got pretty decent record at Villa Park, so I was a little bit quietly confident. hoping that they don't turn up. And I don't think they really did, if I'm being honest. I thought they were a bit leggy. I said that. I thought they
Villa looked off.
They looked off it. But what
we played our part in that, but they just
that for sure. We brought the intensity and they didn't match it, and that's why we won. So we're credit to Chelsea. But what I'm saying is, if anyone noticed, before Conor Gallagher scored, what was being chanted, and that was Roman Abramovich. Loud. Like they had to turn it down. They turned it down. Was it ITV? Who was broadcasting it? ITV, I think.
ITV.
They turned it down. They turned down the Chelsea supporters. Now,
all that loud.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. When we're on it and we're together, we are dangerous. Yeah.
100%.
We are powerful. So Clown Lake have to be very, very careful because they don't realise, they don't get it. They don't understand how we are as a fan base. And we keep our standards high. Yeah. We're not going to lower our standards because you want us to lower the standards. You can jog on. But the levels were raised. There was points to be proven. The one thing I didn't like with Enzo, is that he's pointing down. He takes his shirt off like Lionel Messi. It was quite a cool celebration. Jackson's kissing it like he's kissing Slosh Pot Wet. We know that. Let's have it right. And everyone's come to celebrate. It's all united. It's a great free kick. Mason Mount scored a free kick like that, and he didn't celebrate like that. I think he just done he celebrated for Reece James, didn't he? He celebrated his Cobham boy, his proper Chelsea, for scoring 2 goals in that game.
Sorry to cut you real quick, just to intervene. You know what was mad about that free kick? No one expected it. No, I didn't. No. I said before the shot was taken, I was like, "Why is Enzo taking this? He can't shoot, man. No way."
But
then
the thing is,
he slapped it drop in. So I'm like,
because he got fouled, didn't he, before, and he was pissed off. And I think when you get in that mindset, you're a little bit fired up. He just banged it and whipped it in, bruv. But both against Martinez as well. Facts, World Cup winning goalkeeper.
World Cup as well.
But I liked it. It was the icing on the cake in that game. The supporters were going mad. But he pointed down Sam Stein. Now, I want to remind, and I've said this, he did the exact same thing at Benfica, kissed the badge as well, and he left 2-3 days later. All right? So he's going to do the same with Chelsea. Now, I honestly think his agent and his dad have definitely been talking to other clubs. They're not happy. All right? Enzo's not been happy. You can tell he's not happy. So everyone started calling proper Chelsea and all this. It's ridiculous. All right? But let's see how long he stays. And let's see how long he stays because of where we might end up this season. But it is what it is. Yeah.
The contract is so long as well. That's an issue. That wasn't the case at Benfica. At Benfica, it was trigger the release clause. Job done. But here, it's a 9-year contract. He's on 8 now because he's done a year. So that's which is why I genuinely don't think he'll be going anywhere anytime soon. But he's definitely not happy. That's for sure. Who would be?
Minerals.
Yeah.
No. But I want to say this. What I didn't like is he shut down his Twitter and then he's reopened it after that.
Mate, him and Caicedo done it at the same time.
Right. That shit, right, is what you call PR, brown envelope matrix movement orders. So everyone pities and feels sorry for them.
Sympathy, yeah.
And when they performed, everyone's loving them now. Well, you better keep to those standards
100%.
And be consistent. Because if you're not, you might have to go and deactivate your Twitter again, like you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a joke. I didn't realize that was his actual account when I was live, but that was his actual account.
Oh, yeah. So him and Caicedo, literally, same moment, all of a sudden, same night. I think within an hour of each other, both were gone. Jody Morris spoke about the way that players get critique, and I thought he was spot on, saying that young players need to learn how to be able to take critique. At the end of the day, and I said this, look, if we had this magic button, this magic switch, where we could switch off all abuse, I'd press it. unfortunately, that doesn't exist. That's not life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not real. So you have to manage with what we've got in terms of you're at a caliber, you're at a certain level. If you want to operate at the highest level in anything, not just football, you're going to get people. It's inevitable that are going to disagree with you. Some are going to hate you. Some are going to throw shenanigans at you. If you're going to operate at the top level, you're going to have to know how to just divert it or dodge it or throw it to the side. You're going to have to. And if you can't do that, you won't make it at the top level. You just won't. So instead of trying to suppress it or stop it, you're going to have to take it on the chin and learn how to grow thick skin. Once you do, you won't feel it. And you would have won. And the other point is, after that, if you can prove them wrong, but not just prove them wrong, like the little advice that I gave is, mate, prove yourself right. Forget them. Prove yourself right. What do you believe you can do? Do it. You prove yourself right, you've mudded them. Simple as that. Don't think. I mean, I said, look, even like us and all that, yeah, we throw critique and you know, we reckon this player's not having a good time or he's not been playing well or this, that, and the other. Again, I've even said it when I spoke about Caicedo and Enzo taking their Twitter down. I was like, don't listen to me even. If it means that you have to put to the side what I'm saying, do it. If that's what's going to put you in a mindset of I need to do what I've got to do, cool, do it. But come up with a way where you're just gonna, you know, put the noise to the side. Deactivating and doing all of that just makes it look like to the people that were throwing abuse,
you're weak.
Oh, look, we got them.
Yeah. And not only that, what if he didn't score that free kick? What if he didn't play? And what if we went out? He ain't coming back on Twitter. So he's what? They're waiting for a performance. I don't like this, man. I don't like this culture at Chelsea. All right, this premeditated brown envelope nonsense. Yeah, PR. It's PR everywhere, sprinkled over like hundreds of thousands, man.
Yeah,
everywhere. All right. I don't like it, Eunice. Like, that should be out of football. Keep it out. What matters is what's on the pitch. What matters is your attitude. What matters is your performance, your consistency, your mentality, your deliverance. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what matters. All the other stuff is nonsense, just white noise. You know,
mate, you see, this is another reason why, like, we need pedigree in this team, where there needs to be leaders and there needs to be players that have done things in the game, because they're gonna be the ones that these players at that age can turn to, and then they're the ones that can put an arm around the shoulder and go, "Don't worry, look, this happened to me. This, and they show them. We ain't got that. Apart Thiago Silva, but we ain't got anything else. So these players are kind of in a situation where they're just having to deal with everything that they're doing, that they're having to deal with at an age of, fair enough, to be honest, 19, 20, 21, 22, right? And they are consumed by social media and all of that. They haven't lived in a world that didn't have social media. Do you know what I mean? To be fair, my generation were the hybrid. We've lived without it, and we saw it in, so we understand everything about it, but we remember life without it. We're on the border. Anyone else that came after has basically been born into this, and for them it's important. It's, oh my God, like, no, I only need, good things to be said, and it's going to consume my brain, and it's a big deal. And realistically, it's genuinely not, man. It's really not. You just got to know how to deal with it. But again, we need leaders in the squad. This is an even better reason as to why we need leaders in the team to be able to help them.
And that's facts. And it's like, it's orchestration to a T, premeditated moves, all right, to try and manipulate the fan base. And that's what I don't like. Yeah. And they're using the players because they own the players. They've gone, how about this? Why don't you do it? Mason Mount, we've got more hate than these two players and the whole team combined. All right. And he deactivated his account, and he still hasn't got his account. All right. Because he generally did it because of that. These lot are making out like they're getting so much hate and so much abuse when the entire fan base is standing them anyway. So
you want to know what's the perfect example, right? That I think people should look to and go, yeah, he's someone that dealt with it. Look at the way Jorginho dealt with everything. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, Georgie, yeah.
That's a prime example of someone that took it on, accepted what was happening, and ended up getting people's respect in the end. Mate, the abuse he was getting at the bridge, in person, face to face, as well as online, when Sari was here, he just stuck to it though. Didn't deactivate, didn't do anything crazy, kept, head down, got on with it. And then all of a sudden, towards the end, it was just respect. It was just Jorginho. Like, that's how you do it. That's the only way to be able to switch off people that were putting hate on your name. It's the only way. It's the only way.
If you can't take hate, which I don't even think it's hate, to be honest, it's just like you can't take criticism, then you're never going to get better in whatever you do.
You're never going to get better.
You're never going to become thick-skinned. You're never going to be able to be mentally strong enough. You'll become a snail. You'll curl up in your shell, and you ain't going nowhere fast. Yeah. Why do you want to live like that? You got to land your minerals. You got to be strong. You got to go think forward. You want to better yourself. You want to prove people wrong. So make it motivate you. Instead of going slosh pot wet and OnlyFans to motivate yourself, why don't you motivate yourself using the supporters' energy? You know what I'm saying? That's what you should be doing as a footballer, because it's gone beyond just playing football. It's now a whole marketing game. It's an endorsement game. It's how much money can I make for my family? And, I've made it. I've made the big golden ticket at Chelsea. And these clown lakes are the reason that this happened, bruv. They're the ones that have made this happen to us. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not happy with that. And I didn't like it. And listen, I don't condone hate, and I don't condone, agenda. Don't get me wrong, I hated it. I don't like agenda on players, and I'm not really putting an agenda. I'm exposing the agenda of what's behind the reasoning for everything that's happening. And the agenda for Enzo, not Enzo himself deactivating the account, but his team that advised him to activate his account. And the same with Casado. And who they're linked with, and who's the key kingpin of the Brown Envelope Matrix at Chelsea. That's Tom Roddy. You don't think Tom Roddy is leading all these moves like chess? Yeah, he's playing everything beautifully. Right, this guy's running the game on a PR level. Yeah, he's no head of or big player in the Times for no reason, bruv. Yeah, and he hasn't been hired by Clown Lake for no reason. He's there because he's actually one of the most important pieces to implementing and continuing their unproven project. Do you understand me? That's the minerals landing, right? Where anyone likes it or not. Right, I'm going to quickly run through these units. Big up to Jamie. He says the owners have released the blue ringed octopus from his cage. He has bitten several fans, injecting tetrodotoxin into their bloodstream. Bite symptoms include toxic positivity, delusion, and overhyping. Yeah, in fact, overhyping is a massive problem at Chelsea. They're overhyping so many of these players, bruv. I mean, but this is what I wanted to land this one, right? When we talk about the pressure and Pochettino, and he was having I think it was Chelsea supporters saying you're going to get sacked in the morning and all that. And I don't condone that, but it was Chelsea supporters. They were singing, chanting Todd BOEHLY out and all this, right? So it's heavy. I actually believe, right, that Poch chose that team. That actually Poch picked that team, and I actually think that he thought, fuck it, because if he didn't, and he continued to take orders from those clowns, we would have lost that game because they don't know what they're doing. And I just wanted to drop that one on you. Because that team and the balance was
there.
It was 100%. It was right.
100%.
Yeah. First time. And we haven't even got Reece James, We didn't play Mudryk. We didn't play Sterling. We didn't play Thiago Silva.
Yep.
But yet the key to that team, that game, was Ben Chilwell and Gusto playing in their natural positions and having them invert to allow Enzo and Casado to play close together instead of being so wide apart and running up and down where they can't run. They run like they're underwater. But I just thought I'd land that one.
Yeah, you're right. Like, and another thing was Poch actually mentioning about how he would have wanted some. Funnily enough, he would have wanted some experienced players. I mean, great. He's mentioning it now. Brilliant. And he went on to mention about that it's not necessarily just getting young players in, but it's about the team is young and you know the team could do with some more established players in the squad. 100%. That's what we've been screaming for. So I don't know if it's a case of Poch is now thinking I've got nothing to lose. I might as well just start saying things the way that he said. And I want him to do that. If he does that, believe me, he's going to get the fans behind him. 100%.
This is the thing. Stop meddling with the gaffers. Stop meddling. All right. It's going to come soon, everyone. Yeah. But tell you what, these minerals I'm going to land is going to blow it up, bruv. All right. That's all I'm going to say. Big up to Jamie. Says Roman was ruthless and made the odd mistake, i.e. sacking Jose in 2007 and Carlo in 2011. But he's not stupid. He would never have sacked TT unless a world-class replacement was available, not 100%. A downgrade. 100%. Not wrong, fella. Big up at Oliver Carville. He says, yes, Johnny and Eunice, up the minerals. Big up. Love you guys. You both crack me up. You absolute jokers. Big up to you, my geezer. Respect. Jamie says there must be a 10th place and below policy because we make so many individual errors and put no effort in 2 games after winning 3 in a row. How do we magically play amazing in cups? Very sketchy. Well, that's the first thing. First thing is we are a cup team. It's one-off games where I think the pressure builds and Chelsea just demand winning, and that's the fan base putting the pressure and the sports putting the pressure. The players leave it. We've also had a bit of luck as well go our way in that sense. But at the same time, I believe when you come up against strong opposition that do turn up or turn up at 70%, majority of the time we're going to get beat. All right. Villa weren't at it. I just don't think they were. They weren't switched on. So I think we were the way we set up, we were going to go and do it. Credit to us and the gaffer. Like, I'm not going to take that away, bro.
100%.
But we have inconsistency, and that's the problem. We got inconsistency. We will always have that. But the magically playing well is because what I just said. I actually think Poch knew he was going to get sacked if he didn't win, and he did whatever it took, which is what Jellyfish Potter didn't do. I was asking Jellyfish Potter, I was telling him, just pick your team, bro. Play your football. They can't do nothing. You put the team line up, what are they going to do? Just sack you? They can't.
It's true. Yeah,
like you're in a strong position. Just fucking play. You know the game better than them. If they're giving you orders, you can't play this player, say, fuck off. I'm going to play him. That's what you should do.
At the bare minimum. At the bare minimum, man. At the bare minimum. And this is why, like, look, if there's ever a situation where a manager's told who to play and he goes along with it, I'm sorry, but at this point, problem's on you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't accept that. I'm sorry, if that's me, right?
Do you know what it is, Eunice, right? I blame them, right? Because they won't speak out because they'll lose the money they've been paid out, or they won't walk out because they want to get paid. It's more important to get their money in the bank than do what's right. If you love the beautiful game and you're all in it because you want to be a gaff and you're all in trophies, well, where's your dignity? Where's your self-respect? Where's your levels at? There ain't none.
100. I mean, look, at the end of the day, Chelsea's not your only job, is it? You come out of there, someone will come in for you. So and you know what? If you're the one that's sacked, you're the one getting paid. Mate, but no one's going to dictate, as a manager, no one's going to dictate what I should or should not do. And if you are trying to do that, I'm kicking off. Simple. Yeah. Take it or leave it. Do you know what I mean? If you go along with it, that's it. You know what? They'll impose even more on you afterwards.
Fact.
Can't have that happen. So, yeah, mate, I no. At the end of the day, look, and this is what I said about Pochettino. If he wants to truly save his job, right? If he really wants to, at least what might help is to be able to get the fan base behind him, because he does make the correct decisions from now, is to take initiative, Don't tinker. Don't start messing up what works or what might actually look like it's working. Be open, be honest, and set the standard. You do that, the fan base will be completely behind you. Because Chelsea fans can always read it. It's happened before, where managers have been back to the very last second, then to where they've been sacked, and everyone's like, no, he should have been sacked. It's happened before. So
100%, mate. 100%. James says Jackson is young Dr. Timberland's insult with Henri. Yeah, he is. And he says, I argued with someone who compared Jackson to Etu. How can you compare him to Etu, bruv? What are they? What are these lot on, man? These supporters on Twitter are just wrong uns, bruv.
Don't take them seriously.
Yeah, man. Don't.
One thing I've learned is that Twitter is actually the small minority.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the loud minority.
Yeah.
And there's a very large silent majority that are not on there. Remember that.
Yeah. I agree with that. What I will say is
someone said AFC Wimbledon would be in for pod.
Yeah. Like that, Hannah says, why do they want to control? It's not just the owners, it's the directors. And it's like they're basing everything Chelsea do on what they are doing structurally. But it's not working. It's not going to work. Because you can't run a club like it, like our stature, the stature of our club. You can't do it like that. You can do it with low level clubs. You can start from the bottom and build your way up. But with Chelsea, you can't do that. You just can't do it. The problem is going to be the summer window. I think Pochettino needs to stick to his guns. If he's got any self-respect, yeah, and do what's right and pick the team and do what he wants to do. Thiago Silva, he was definitely ordered to drop Thiago Silva because the ownership were begging.
What happened with his missus and all that?
Yeah, we're begging her to delete the tweet and all this. She knows what's going on behind the scenes. She knows what I know. So,
you know, to an extent, it makes sense when you think about the long-term. Let's talk long-term vision, right? It would be if you talk to any top-level football manager and say they've got results coming in, right? It's looking good, and they get to a transfer window. What are they going to do? They're going to be like, knock, knock. Listen, we're doing really well. We're going to need to add one or two top players in so then we can keep the levels up. And they can't go against that because the team is playing well. Like, at this point, everyone knows that whatever direction they're going in, mate, keep going. Just listen to the manager because clearly he knows what he's doing. Public opinion will be completely behind the manager at that point, which means that there's more of a reason to actually provide the funds to actually go out and get top quality that the team would need and not go down the route of young player. It's easier to go down the young player route when the team is struggling.
Yeah.
This is where
they've dropped our standards to get to that, to say you've got to accept
this. Is it exactly because it gets to a point like this is where I was always questioning, like, what's the intention? What's the actual intention behind the model? Like, what is the intention, right? Because it doesn't help if you're trying to get young players in and then, try and make sure that they're the ones that are playing. That way they can increase in value and then you can sell them later. It doesn't help if you're getting top ballers in that are already established that you're not going to make profit of, but the team are going to do well.
Right. It goes against everything they're implementing. So at the same time, you need to be able to have a manager that's going to go along with it to an extent. But this is why I said, if you have tools, top players in a team and they're already running and you've got a manager that's obviously now going to think, okay, we need upgrades because City are upgrading, Liverpool are upgrading, we got to keep up. It goes against having to just go for young players. It's stupid because in football, you don't make money on all these players. Sometimes you buy players
No.
because it's for the benefit of the team and to make you successful. So
Yep.
why don't they think of this? If we bring experienced players, it's common sense, right, in football, that when you've got those established players, those that experience, it elevates your team. You can go in the right direction and think about the now, and you can challenge and compete. But what does it do, Eunice? It makes the players that you bought that are young better. It will improve them.
100%.
It adds more value to the rest of the squad that you've built.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, are they that stupid? Are they that thick? Really?
Yep.
But I go back to the point that they've spent the money irresponsibly and without the right people advising them, and then playing as directors themselves, going out and spending the money market. They don't know what they bought. And the damage is done. Financially, they've done the damage. So now they've gone, right, we have to go only young. Because obviously, let's have it right. I knew from when I was told at a certain point, that was they're building a super youth team. That's what we're doing. We're building a super youth team, right? That was the ultimate goal. And we're going to get the right people in charge to build that super youth team. So they've gone Carrington, Winstanley, Stuart Little, and all these wrong uns, right? All right.
Yeah.
But the reality is you've gone and spent stupidly, so you can't go and buy your Endrick now that you so-called we're getting a new Endrick. You couldn't get the Endrick because you didn't want to inflate the market, and it's too much money for you to spend because you've gone and spent BOEHLY. You went and got Aubameyang and all these guys on high wages, you know? And then you're selling them again. You're getting rid of them.
Yeah,
it's like you're not going forward. You're going backwards from the get go, and you're adamant to stick with it. I'm not letting go. The truth is always going to be the truth. It's there. All right. Listen, I hope we continue playing good football and winning games and showing intensity and all that. The reality is these kids will get found out like they have been all season. And it's not like you just click. You don't just click, and all of a sudden we're going to play like prime Barcelona, and we're going to be the youngest side ever to go and win a Premier League. It's delusion, bro.
No, there's no chance. There was one. I forgot who it was. But I think I'm not sure if it was a pundit or it was a coach or someone who came out and said that we intentionally tried to target Chelsea's youth core, the young players. We targeted them like during a game that we'd lost. Again, I don't know who it was, but we targeted their young core. Like, we didn't think about like tactically or go down this route or that route. It's just target their young core. If you get to their young players, the ones that don't quite know yet, right? If you nullify them, you've won the game. And it makes sense. It makes complete sense.
Yeah, 100%. And that's where we are now. It's listen, like I say, the table don't lie. We're sitting 11th.
We're 11th.
Yeah, we're 11th. Liverpool won today, beat the mighty Burnley who use AI scouting like us, same software. City have won. Tottenham have won.
Yeah.
Beat Brighton, you know.
They came back from behind.
You know, it's just we're further behind now. We're further behind. We can't even catch up with what's his name, West Ham and United.
Like, no, Brighton's that's already
Brighton's above United level on points with United, and United are probably going to win their next game. So it's like we're a mid-table team. Premier League is what you should be building for. Yeah. And we're not. We're not building for the Premier League. We're building to make money. We're building to win a few cups. Is that what we're doing? It's like all this talk about sustainability and longevity and all that. It's in the bin because we're not dealing with it now. And you won't be able to deal with it now. It's just not going to happen. No. And that's the reality, bruv. And I don't care what anyone tells us. Yeah, it is what it is. It's clear as day. And I'm not getting sucked into this whole we're back and all this shit.
No. And I honestly don't think most people are. I think, again, you'll find a few. But most people have already made that mistake early on in the season. especially after we drew 4-4 with City. That was a time when everyone was going, oh, all right, looks like we might be back. Myself included. I was like, are we? Have we turned the corner? No.
Do you know what the disgraceful thing is, right?
No.
Is that we could finish 10th, win a Carabao Cup, and people go, oh, yeah.
Good season.
Good season. That's a failure. It's an absolute failure.
And you know what? On the back of that Aston Villa performance, right? That makes Monday against Palace a must. I'm sorry. Especially Palace, the way that they are. Check this. The way that they've been playing, their fans are not happy. They've held like mini protests at the games that they've gone to with banners and all sorts going, well, where are we going? What's going on? Roy Hodgson still somehow has a job. I don't understand how that's happened. They've got big injuries. 3 or 4 or 5 of their main players are out. Oleze's out. Eze's out. Gurhi's out. They've got players out. If we don't win that game, I'm sorry, we go back to square one. The Villa result becomes nullified. We have to beat Palace. I don't care. Simple as that.
It's a non-negotiable win. Bottom line is standards are in the mud. And like I say, let's see what happens. I expect us to beat Crystal Palace.
I expect us to win. I'll be shocked if we
don't.
Shocked.
We should be battering them. No, it shouldn't even just be like it should be like a 3-4-0.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens.
But that will tell us if the Villa result is just a blip or a flash in the pan or a one night stand, as
we've always
put it, one night stand.
It's almost like there's no Elise in it.
Elise's out, Eze's out, Gurhi's out. They've got 2 others out.
You got to batter them. And
come on,
there's no excuses.
And Roy Hodgson's still in charge. Nah, man.
Yeah. If there's no manager bounce and all that, even if there was, I think we'll beat them. But listen, we are different in cup games. We're just different. It's how we're set up. It's the perfect cup competitions. Is the perfect way to mask inconsistency. Because it's like you think, oh yeah, we're consistent in the cup. No, you're just consistent playing one-off games. You fire yourself up for one-off games. You don't know what it takes to win a Premier League title. You don't know how to be consistent in the Premier League for 38 games. Your squad's not built for 38 games.
Yeah.
We're not even playing Europe, and yet we're struggling. Right. So when we play Europe, how's this squad going to cope? It ain't going to cope. Exactly. And you can't add to this squad. It's a joke.
Yep.
So we are in serious trouble, mate. And I'll stick by it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to change 100. Nothing.
Psychologically as well, a cup competition always has a different feel, even for the players. When you play a cup game, and I'll relate this to lower levels as well. When you play a league game, you play a cup game, 2 different things, 2 different feelings. You go into a cup game knowing like it's all about that 90 minutes. Whereas in a league game, it's, we've got next week. Do you know what I mean? And it's a continuation of last week. And it doesn't signify that much importance in the moment. Whereas a cup game is, listen, you show up now or you're out. Deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So psychologically, we ain't got a team that's built on a mental level to cope with that level week in, week out.
Yeah. We haven't even got a gaffer built like that.
This is it. This is
what I'm saying.
We know what this team is screaming for. We ain't got it. So
sort it out. Get us a proper gaffer, elite gaffer, man. Poch ain't the guy, man. He's not elite, yeah? All right? And it's all this, it's a different team. We need time. Jog on, man. We ain't got time, man. The time you want it to take, yeah, you have Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, all just rolling us over, steamers, miles ahead. They're already light years ahead. You're going to let them go further forward.
Yeah,
you're relying on everyone else to just drop off. You're mad. It's pure delusion. Because why? It's not about competing with them. It's about making that.
Yeah,
that's it. And they're making that. They are. Financially, they are.
Profits, of course.
They're making money. You got Todd the Boney on 20 million a year. Of course they're making money, bruv. What are we doing here?
But Chelsea as a brand, like, already make what they make, right? And it's not. It can be more. It can be much more. And I agree with that. I think, you win and you do add more. And the more successful you are on the pitch, the more money you will make. But it doesn't mean that you're broke. Doesn't mean that you're not making profit. You are making profit. Chelsea will be making profit. In the grand scheme of things, like right now, we're hearing FFP and there's losses because of operations and then, player sales and all that. Cool. But I'm talking revenue and the amount of money we're bringing in. Definitely okay for these owners.
What's
100%.
What's all this about? Where is it? Where's he written it? He says, what's this something about us not wanting to win Carabao Cup because of financial implications? What do you mean by that? You mean what? Paying out Poch if he wins the Carabao Cup and they sack him? They got to pay him a bonus. Maybe that's what he means.
I'll be honest, I have no idea.
I don't know about all that stuff, but yeah, they're moving like Levy, aren't they? If that's the case, they sacked Marino because if he won the Carabao Cup or him being in charge in the final, they have to pay him 5 million, didn't they? And they didn't want to pay the 5 million.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'm not sure if deep down they actually thought that maybe he won't make a final, and then he did. I don't know. See, this is why I hate those sort of things that's in football nowadays. It didn't exist before. Where you're thinking about what are the financial implications if we win? Like, that's flipping. That's nuts. That's incredible. Like, that is crazy, and it's not new. It's not new. You know what? This has happened. Funnily enough, this has happened in Africa, right? There have been teams that have made sure to not get to certain league positions so they don't qualify for, let's say, Champions League, like continental competition, because of the costs that it would take to go and participate in those competitions, knowing that they're not going to win it. So they'd rather not qualify and save money that way.
Yeah.
Like, if we're bringing all that sort of stuff in now to this level, we're meant to be at the top level. This is meant to be top level of professional football globally, right? What are we doing? I hope it's bonkers. It's bonkers.
And we get European football with the Carabao Cup, so it's like,
well, we'll get Conference League, won't we?
Yeah,
we'll get Conference League.
You're spot on as well. Spot on, Geezer. Absolutely spot on. But yeah, it is what it is. Anything else you want to wrap up with?
Nothing major. Just I hope we beat Palace. We must, and see how we go on after that. And apart from that, see how this weekend goes, and make sure you're drinking super crema. I will.
You know it, sure. Mate. I've had about 5 today. I'm going to keep going, man. I love them. Yeah, absolutely love them. But yeah, respect, man. Big up Eunice for coming on as always. Landed Down Minerals. I think it's been a great one today, an insightful one as well, and a lot of minerals landed as usual. But guys, make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, go and subscribe and like Eunice's channel and videos as well, guys, and get in the comments. Put all your comments in the chat. We will be back again as always, and I'll be landing it on a regular, as you know. People have been going, oh, Johnny doesn't do many streams. He only goes on after games. I just do it when I feel like it. That's my narrative. But obviously, we need to do more and get it out there. So make sure you do sub and all that. It's very important to help the channel, and do the same for Eunice. Is on the road to 200k. I'm on the road to 10k, but we're still landing minerals large, mate. So respect to everyone. As always, guys, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And let's have it right. Land it everywhere you go. Up the Chelsea.